previously, we looked at a mature Type 1 civilization of the civilizational range model. If you haven't seen the previous videos on this topic, do check them out. The link is provided for you in the description below. Today, we will be looking at the next step from a fully mature Type 1 civilization. So let's dive right in and explore some of the defining characteristics of an immature Type 2 civilization. In Zubrin's view, the purpose of the human venture into space is to renew our species through accepting the challenge to create new civilizations on new worlds. He believes that economic gain and new knowledge and technology may drive some enterprises. However, ultimately our entry into space is not about profit or knowledge as much as it is about social reproduction. In fact, this should be true for any civilization in the universe. Naturally, any species that has had the time to evolve to such levels would want to ensure the survival of their young and of their future generations in general. So for us, while expanding our civilization into space may provide many benefits, the real fruit will be for our future generations. We or any other civilization that has mastered all the available resources of their home planet are simply planting orchards as we grow and expand into the space beyond our home planet. But where exactly should a civilization even begin this process of planting these seedlings? Well, for some, the obvious answer is the natural satellites of the home planet, assuming of course that the planet in question actually has natural satellites to begin with. In the case of humanity, our moon is the answer when trying to populate a new world beyond planet Earth. Being roughly the size of Africa in terms of its surface area, and only about 240,000 miles away from the Earth, the moon gives us an undeniable advantage as our first destination for space colonization. It is also the closest of any major or minor planetary body in our solar system and can be reached using our current chemical propulsion rocket technology in about 3 days. Although the moon has no atmosphere, its surface does contain vast amounts of oxygen, silicon, iron, aluminum, titanium, magnesium, and calcium tightly packed into rocks as oxides. Apart from these, our moon also contains rare but obtainable supplies of helium-3, an isotope which could be used as fuel for thermonuclear fusion reactors. These resources give the moon an enormous advantage as a destination for colonization over geocentric orbital space, where there is nothing at all to work with. So for Zubrin, an ideal starting point for humanity to establish itself as an immature Type 2 civilization would be to establish permanent bases and settlements on the moon. There are several challenges to this that we or any other equivalent civilization must overcome first, of course, but only when a civilization is able to conquer the environment of a different world can it be truly called an immature Type 2 civilization under the civilizational range model. But what if somewhere in the universe, a fully mature Type 1 civilization's home planet does not have any natural satellites? How can it advance to the next step in its civilizational evolution? Well, in that case then, venturing out to the nearest planetary body in its respective stellar system would solve this problem. This is also true for humanity since colonizing the moon is only the beginning phase to becoming an immature Type 2 civilization. It would not establish us as one. We wouldn't be recognized as an immature Type 2 civilization until we start to colonize at least one nearby planet in our solar system. Now, once we start to master and exploit resources on the moon, we can then begin to colonize nearby planets starting with Mars. One of the major advantages of establishing colonies on the moon first is that the gravitational pull of the moon is about 1/6 of that of the Earth. Weaker gravity means easier launches of spacecrafts with less fuel consumption compared to launches from Earth. For this reason, many speculate that our moon may serve as the optimal port of departure for interplanetary expeditions to points beyond in the future. So for Zubrin, Mars should be the first planet that humanity should colonize because it is the nearest planet that possesses all of the resources needed for establishing a new branch of human civilization. Not only does it possess resources to support life, but it also has resources to support the development of a technological civilization. Mars possesses oceans of water frozen into its soil as permafrost, along with vast quantities of carbon, nitrogen, hydrogen, and oxygen, which are all crucial elements for humanity to survive. So only once humanity starts to colonize Mars can it be truly called an immature Type 2 civilization. This is of course true for any other civilization in the universe that is trying to advance to this level in its civilizational evolution. It must learn to venture out to its moons and nearby planets in its respective stellar system for it to be truly recognized as an immature Type 2 on the civilizational range scale. But what happens when a civilization like ours reaches this step? How can it still advance further on this scale? Well, once humanity gets there, it must soon begin to explore and mine asteroids and other small bodies beyond Mars to begin its transition to a fully mature Type 2 civilization on the civilizational range scale. But that is a discussion best left for another time. If you enjoyed this video, do leave a like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Also, do you think humanity will ever advance to this level? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Until then, we'll see you in the next one.